this is Tara. Today we're studying Sutra number 25. What does it say? Tatra niratishayam sarvagnya bijam. Tatra is there, niratishaya is unsurpassed or limitless, sarva is whole, and jna is jnana, knowing. Maharishi Vedavyasa translates it as in him the seed of the omniscient is not exceeded. So we are still continuing the description of Ishvara and Ishvara Pranidhana. That is, who is Ishvara, this concept of God? What is the concept of surrender? So the seed of the omniscient is the larger or smaller knowledge of the individual, the collective or the ultra-sensuous arising out of the past or the future. What does this mean? When this reaches a point of expansion beyond which there is nothing, there is the omniscient. So what he's essentially saying is there must be a highest limit of the expansion of the omniscience, just as there's a larger or smaller manifestation of intelligence. So wherever knowledge reaches the highest limit, it is omniscient, and that omniscience is said to be a distinct Purusha. So although Ishvara has no purpose of his own to fulfill, his purpose is compassion for other creatures. So the knowledge of things beyond the range of the senses exist either individually or collectively and caused by the appearance of past and future forms, is qualified by the attributes of largeness or smallness, okay, on account of the veil of darkness covering our perception. The meaning of this is that knowledge is the seed and the cause of the omniscient. So knowledge is basically spoken of as being more or less with reference to the thing known. I know this book, I know this subject, I know this person. So there's a thing, you perceive that knowledge of it is through your perception, through your senses. So when this knowledge expands so much that it passes beyond the limit of being further exceeded, then there is the omniscient or the all-knowing, all-potent, all-sentient. So basically what he's saying, that there is a point when the upper limit is breached. When the upper limit of knowledge is breached, it becomes omniscient, and that becomes the distinct Purusha. Swami Satyananda says, in Ishvara there is the seed of limitless omniscience. So what is the purpose of Sutras 25 to 28? We are explaining the nature of Ishvara. So who is Ishvara? We're trying to define Ishvara. So Ishvara is the highest manifestation of consciousness of man. In it, there is the seed of all knowledge. The ultimate point of consciousness in us is Samadhi. And Purusha is the manifestation of consciousness in the course of evolution. So it is not just the manifestation of consciousness, the manifestation of consciousness in the course of evolution. That is when Purusha mingles with Prakriti and the universe is manifested. In that course of evolution, Purusha is the highest manifestation of consciousness. So Purusha is not spirit, it's not really a soul in the Sankhya philosophy. It is a particular manifestation of consciousness. And the supreme Purusha is Ishvara, who is avyakta or unmanifested. Now, the highest state of evolution includes knowledge that knows no limits. It is knowledge of everything. But that knowledge is not gained from outside. It's not an external knowledge. It is knowledge that arises internally. Ishvara manifests that knowledge, and an aspirant who has attained the highest state of consciousness is in touch with that knowledge, has that knowledge. Although not all knowledge, and this is a mistake you must not make, all knowledge is not brought down to sensory knowledge. Sensory knowledge is not your only source of knowledge. It is only a source of gross knowledge. There is far more subtle and far more spiritual, and the highest form of knowledge is Ishvara or God. Swami Vivekananda says, in him becomes infinite that all-knowingness, which in others is only a germ. So he says the mind must only travel between two extremes. So if you think of a second, Swami Vivekananda says, instantly you understand that second is in contrast to limitless time. So also knowledge is only a germ in man, but the minute you understand the germ of your knowledge, you understand the infinitude of limitless knowledge. so that the very nature of your own constitution shows that there is unlimited knowledge. And yogis call this unlimited knowledge as Ishvara or God. B.K. Iyengar says God is the unexcelled seed of all knowledge. In him abides the unrivaled, matchless source of all knowledge. He is the seed of omniscience, omnipresence, omnipotence. In God rests all creation. He is eternal and one. He is himself the seed of all knowledge and the seed of omniscience, whereas the yogi attains infinite knowledge but not the end of that knowledge. Osho says, in God, the seed is developed to its highest extent. And he says, you are the seed and God is the manifestation. So Osho inverts it a little. He says, you are the seed, God is actuality. You are the potential, He is the actual. God is your destiny and you are carrying your destiny for many lives without looking at it because your eyes are fixed somewhere in the future. They don't look to the present. And he says, you don't need to do anything. You just need to realize that the Ishvara is one with you. And the minute you realize that, no effort, no pranayama, no bhastrika, no asana, no yoga, no meditation, nothing is required. If you understand this, he says, that existence is perfect as it is. Look in, look out, everything is so perfect that nothing can be done except celebrate. Man who surrenders starts celebrating. And as I mentioned yesterday, Barbara Stoller Miller sort of combines her interpretation of these 5-6 sutras, and this one she translates as, in the Lord of Yoga is the incomparable seed of omniscience. And about the Lord of Yoga, she explains how Lord Krishna in the Gita refers to himself as every creature's timeless seed. Patanjali seems to be saying that the seed cognition does not germinate in the Lord of Yoga since he is self-contained and omniscient. This would be the case for a yogi who has realized the true nature of his spirit. I hope this has been helpful to you. Please do leave your comments and questions and do remember to hit subscribe. Thank you for listening.